Hey everyone, Lensman Oz here. Welcome to another episode of Factorio. Now, I've done a bunch in between episodes. And the base is looking a lot different. Now, you may know where I am in the base, but you can see that there's not much left. So this entire end of the base, and that little bot's trying to get to me. This entire end of the base is gone. The bus is gone. Are these empty? No, they've got junk in them. Yeah. So what I've done is I've gone and purged the whole end of the base, and I've got rid of all the bits and pieces all over the place. And I've come up with this, and look, I don't know how efficient this is. This is just me mucking around. Come up with this little setup here where we've got a requester leading into an assembly machine and then back out to a provider. So this one here is making science pack 1s. So we've got 200 science pack 1s in here. And generally all of them are set up to make just one stack. So that's waiting on steel chests, which, oh, hang on, push that button, we'll be able to see everything. So you can see all the things we've got set up to be made. And then our little bots are running around all over the place delivering. Now at the moment I'm a little low on bots. And as you can see here, if I'm hovering over here, I've got 287 logistic bots. Now if you look at the picture, you can see there's a little red construction one there. I have the second level of construction and logistics bots, the red guys, but I'm struggling to actually get them upgraded. So what I had done is I'd put these on here, and so little inserters, but what I think I'm going to need to do, and actually this one's not a big issue, so let's just cancel that. The construction ones I'm not real worried about. It's this one here that I have. So what I might do is just do a red wire on there and just say that it's going to pull that out. But the condition is that in the chest, it'll only work if it's less than 50. Let's set that because at the moment my base is struggling. And if I go all the way out here, we'll leave 19 in there. My base is struggling. If I throw this in, we'll see how many go. This should go until this gets to 50. We got 52, so it was a little bit over, but that's fine. It stopped. My base is struggling to get all the things done that is needed. And I don't know whether that's just because I'm missing bots or whether it's because things are just a little slow to keep going. Mainly steel, because everything seems to need steel now. So I may need to change my production lines and get some more steel directly. A lot of the time it's because we have too much copper. Now there's a lot of items in here requiring copper, and I don't understand why not as much gets used. Now Triax did say at the start that iron was one of the main ones. But honestly, I envisaged more use of copper, even with all these, all these circuits. Every single one of these things seems to need a circuit board, and this is where we're held up there. The transistors needing plastic bars. So look, see, all the bots are going nuts now, so that's good. Got some things moving, which may help. Lots more bots in the system. And the idea here is that this supply chest here will get picked up and sent to here eventually. And there's tons in here too, right? So I could effectively grab a few more stacks out and drop them in here. Until the point where, it calls them here to be created. This guy, have I turned you off? I think I did. I think I turned off supplying the robot frames, which is the bit that holds me up. Flying robot frame Mark II requires transistors. Transistors require plastic. Lots of things require steel, because you can see they're pretty much grabbing steel as soon as it hits the provider here. But yeah, I had to put a warehouse on the copper, because we have tons and tons and tons of copper now. Maybe there's something I can use copper for. Let's check it out, because things are not going the way we could be using them here. So let's see what we got with 55 pages of things that require copper. Electric poles, yeah, put that in. Copper cables, yeah, we got that. Copper pipes, I mean I could set up something to do copper pipes, but that's just neither here nor there. Gun turrets, heavy armor, electric poles, yeah, see, lots and lots of things require copper. Now, obviously I don't need guns and bullets. I could probably set something up to make solar panels, but then I'm still going to be waiting on transistors because circuit boards need them. Substations? Maybe. So you can see a lot of bits and pieces are required, and I think it's time to start looking at trying to make pretty much everything. Now that sounds a little silly, but if I set up these little crafting guys, what's this? Copper tungsten plate. Don't have powdered tungsten. Yeah, you can see there's not heaps that I can say. Nuclear reactor takes 500 copper plates. I don't know about that. So yeah, for the amount of copper I've got, we're not getting the right proportion of iron, even though everything is set to process things within an inch of their life. It's not quite as backed up here. I do have this defaulting to the right, which will make steel plates. This guy over here is converting all of the sapphirite we're getting from that mine out the side there, converting it into directly, wastefully, into copper and iron. So things are all working, just not as fast as I was hoping. This is basically staying empty. So if I stop the copper here, then we have dramas here, and when it backs up, yeah, you can understand what's going on. Let's see, things have been cut off here, so I'm going to need to work out. Okay, this guy here. So let's maybe able to work out what I've cut off here. Shoot down. You need to bring in carbon, thanks. Okay. Because this will require carbon in this building. To make one of the things. This one. So at the moment we're held up by not having any carbon. So the system will bring that over, because as I've been going through and removing belts and stuff, here come the little bots now, you'll notice that I've tried to not break things as best that I could. Alright, so I'm currently working on robot speed. I wouldn't mind, thank you, I wouldn't mind starting to look at some of the Uoki stuff here. Whether it's worth trying to, I don't know, make some of this stuff. I really don't know how the Uoki stuff works, and I do need to look into it. But there is all sorts of stuff here that maybe I can just dump crud loads of things into. Because at the moment we are getting up there with our research. Still got a bunch to go. Still got quite a lot down here. A lot of this requires military or... yeah, there's military science there. And whatever this other one is, there's green? The green science is. And then we've got some other weird looking things down here. A lot of this is military base. Ooh, plastic 3. What do you require? High-tech science pack. What do you make? How do I make? Formaldehyde and phenol. Yeah, it doesn't really help me. Ooh. There's lots of stuff down there that we don't have yet, and Stacking buildings. Woof. Okay. So you can see there's still lots of things to be done, but the base does look a little bit empty now with this wall of crafting. And obviously all this stuff's still sitting up here at the moment. We've got a lot of things happening that probably don't need to be happening, and but for bulk crafting, everything's coming from here now. So, oh, the train's missing, that's good. I did make a derp, as Triax mentioned in previous episode, where be careful with braided belts. I did have a braided belt here, so when I upgraded all this I did make a mess of it. It's all good now. Everything seems to be working fine. But I did make a bit of a mess. I don't think I ever showed you guys last time the doubling of the power supply. So I put the second lot up the top here, still feeding off the one lot of coal through it's a titanium chest here, which has 16,000 in it as a bit of a backlog. This guy here could probably do with some of them. Looks like the train's just arrived. Things are dumping out as quickly as possible. Alright. So yeah, it's still at that point where I'm now, because I've done all this work, and apologies if you guys wanted to see it. I did a lot of this off camera. Just made a little blueprint. Spread it out now. It's a little bit messy here because I had all these pipes. Once I got into a bit of a rhythm, and then I started getting the ones that needed a liquid. So I've got a row here, and yes, it is switched around the other way. So sorry if you have something that you struggle with things that aren't quite the same, but yeah, it's best I could do at the time. So lubricant line will be here. So anything else that needs lubricant, I'll put a crafting setup here. Anything that requires sulfuric, and anything that requires ferric chloride. So we had a few different bits and pieces. They all seem to be working and functioning quite well now. Okay. The only thing I haven't moved yet is this. And I do need to move this, so it really is as simple as all of these use the same center chest. So if I shift right click, that should have copied that. And if I go up here and let you, well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll grab this. Don't think I can get one more in there, but I can't put one there because things. Let's just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They will completely build everything themselves. The little red guys are really fast. And then I should be able to shift left click all of these. They will all be requesting the same stuff, which is what these needed. Actually, I don't think they all needed this. I think this was the only one. That's this one that needed it. I think I've already got that one going. Did I? Not a biggie. You can see all the bots. So yeah, I might need to change it up because that's this one. Speed logic board. I may have actually done that one. Did I? No, because there's the other boards there. Apologies if it's a bit small. I don't know what device you're watching on, so yeah, not all of these require this. That's okay. It's okay. Let's just go green, blue, pink. Yep. Okay. Let's find these guys. It's not them ones, is it? It's these ones. Oh goodness, things we do. It is the effectivity circuit board. Okay, so speed circuit board, activity circuit board, productivity, pollution 1. And then technically it's this one. So judging by that, this here requires modules, solder, components and transistors. Doesn't require those two. Come on. Okay, so we can now take these out of here and send them back on their way. But yeah, a little bit of derp on my part. This one does require it, but I don't know if it needs everything. It doesn't need the white ones. Doesn't need the white ones, and what else doesn't it need? Doesn't need that. Alright, cool. So, it's just a quick and simple way of getting the bots up and running, and the pattern includes blocking this down to one spot. So now I just need to purge my inventory of some junk. There we go. Let's get rid of all of these. Okay. So maybe it's worth me setting up... Oh, got all these things too. Have some bots. Maybe it's worth me setting up things like mining drills or that sort of stuff. Up to 1,000 logistics spots. It's just this that's holding me up now. Liquid plastic. There's got to be a better way of making plastic. Has to be a better way. Is there something that uses raw materials? Hey, look. Actually, you know what? We've tried liquid. Let's do this. So how do we make this stuff? It's coal in a motor reconstructor. That requires assembly machine 2, a crusher, form press alien fuel cells. Okay, we're falling into a rabbit hole. Duratal should be fine. Yeah, crushed F7 in a form press machine. So, material chunks and water in a crusher or an electric crusher. Okay, let's make a couple of electric crushers, and we're going to crush the yellow and the blue stuff, which I will currently have down in a chest down the bottom. Okay, so Yuoki, how do I make these guys? I need some chips and some... Wow. Chip requires orange stuff. Ooh, I just found some really deep wells of things to do. Maybe we need to start with a couple of basics. But I want to make this plastic. So this requires basic machine frame. It requires Duratal and conductive wire and engines. Conductive wire is an orange stuff. How do I make orange stuff? Where is orange stuff? Here. Rich dust. Rich dust comes from crushed Duratal and really. So I've got to do it manually first. That's fine. I do have... I thought I had some crushers in a chest somewhere. I remember throwing a chest down, which is really bad. I do have a crusher here. What are you making? H metal. You know what? It's time. Let's do this. So, using our bot system, we're gonna find an area which I might start down here so we can still craft up here. Let's grab this little, that's a form press machine, and I should have got a crusher. Pretty sure I picked up the crusher. Ah, okay. So this guy, it requires fuel. So let's make another one. So we're going to have it make the rich dust. So we're going to need to get the blue, the Dura. I'm doing this wrong. Doing this very wrong. Head down here. Somewhere down here. It's this building here. We've got our F7 and okay, so these guys. So I need to get coal in here, which we can probably use this carbon over here. I wonder if I can use a roboport in here. That could be interesting. Let's check that out. Oh, there's none in there. So I think that'd be quite humorous if I can get one. It's only got construction bots in it. I'm gonna take that. Okay, so we're gonna set the crushers up down in this area. I just want to see if this will work. So if I put a roboport in, even if I stick the roboport in the corner, will you work? Have some logistics bots. If I convert these two guys into providers, and then we get our crushers. One. Like that. I put a requester chest. Oh, okay. Let's do this right. Close that off to just being like that. Okay, if I then request, and here we are, I'm just guessing stuff on camera now. If I request that this gets carbon, they work inside the buildings. And again, this is pretty terrible setup, but okay. They're fueled. Okay, so we want N4. N4. 500's fine. And then F7. Yep. So if I tell you to do this, let me rotate you around. I need to bring water in here. And you to do this. Okay, so if I need to bring in water from here. So second one down. I need to get water to here. Do I have any water around? Gross water. What are you? It's purified. I don't think there's any. Don't know if there's a way of just generating water straight out of the ground. Alright. I don't want to waste time getting water down here, so just give me a minute. I'll cut the video and I'll be back once I've got some water to here. You gotta see this. Deforesting at its best. I don't have the water down here yet, but it was fun to just get the bots in, and that's going to be out of range, which is a bummer. to get the bots in and just absolutely smashing out the forest there. Let's just plot this guy here and get some power. Alright, so I've got the water to here. So I'll keep going and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so that's set up. We've got water down here and I've set up wire conditions on this so it'll only fill until it gets to 100. I figure that's the easiest way of doing it. So it will continue putting things in here while it can and then crushing, which is slow. I don't think I can speed this thing up. Once we get to electric ones, no problem. So I guess the next thing to do there is to go, right, what else, what did I need? I wanted to go to this stuff, so rich dust is just, I'm assuming, made in a crafting setup of some description. So, I mean, we can do this with my little bots, which is great. If I say I want Oki, I want that and that. Is that right? And then say you're going to be making rich dust. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Okay, so we're going to get rich dust. Nice. Wow, we get a fair amount from that too. So we're good. So rich dust. We now have rich dust. Let's go to here. Okay, uses of this. Was rich dust. Uses of rich dust. Okay, let's scroll through our things here. It's not really the way of doing it. We kind of want this here. So we're going to get Unicomp and slag in a form press machine. And we're going to get orange stuff as well in a furnace. So I've got electric furnaces. Okay. Neutral compressed makes us these things. Okay, so one thing at a time, I guess. We need to do orange stuff, so we need electric furnace. And we need the form press. Okay, so electric furnace. I do have a furnace. I do have an electric furnace. Plop him there. And then do this over the top. Right. You are going to be making... I want you to have rich dust. So which one was it? Was it this one? Oh, so it's the other result. The other use of rich dust was orange stuff. Yeah, look, it's automatic, so I don't need to do too much there. It's going to make me some more, automatically make me some orange stuff. The form press, I do have. Did I have that? Yeah, I've got the form press machine. I don't know whether it needs water. It's obviously needing fuel. So just... Okay, so that's just in a... Just says smelt and form blue dust. Okay. We've got... We turn these crush things into a lot of the other stuff. Compressed. Wow. Okay, so that one. We're going to get pellets out of it. And I can put speed upgrades in this, which is cool. So again, let's... And I am mindful of what we've got in the way of time here. So let's get a requester. And I want this stuff. And carbon. I need about 50, should be fine. Good. Awesome. It needed a bit more than that, didn't it? So So rich dust is very steadily being changed into orange stuff. I can see this getting very busy very quickly in here, and I'm not being as efficient as I could be. I could probably put another form press one there, and I don't know, feed out with an inserter. Looking at this though, we need a few more things. So these guys, I get uses of this. Oh, no, that can be, yeah, okay, it can turn into that, or it can be turned into this. Okay, so it's crushed in another form press machine, so we need probably 2 more presses, and we'll make this guy, and then the blue one. So let's just do this setup again. We'll make a couple more presses. And we're working towards getting the next one up. It's going to be a lot of work, it seems. And yes, I know I could be more efficient with this, but meh, I'm alright with materials, so to speak. So you're going to be that one. You are going to be that one. And we're going to request and carbon 50. You're going to request 50 carbon as well, and that. Cool. So things are starting to happen here. We are getting. That's unfortunate. Let's do that. We are going to have to process that slag somewhere. I don't know what the uses of the slag is. Let's do a real quick usage. It can be okay. Converted. Slag granulate. Walls apparently. Yeah, this is a decent one here where we can, once we learn how to make some other stuff. But at the moment, this is what we were going for. This was plastic, right? So this guy, uses, turning it into wood, turning it into coal, copper. Oh, not wow, plastic bar. So we do need this motor reconstructor, or restructor, I should say, and read it properly. This looks like a very handy machine, so I'm going to work towards doing that in the next episode. We'll start getting all the things we need. Assembly machine's fine, crusher's fine. This stuff's fine. I can make them by hand. The alien fuel cells. It's going to require this, which is fine. It's just going to require some of this. Well, I can do that now. Wow. Okay, so it looks like a lot of work, but it doesn't seem like it's going to actually be a ton of work. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to make this stuff, which just requires that. And I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Please leave your comments in the section down below. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to tell me where I've completely derped up, because I know I will have. It's a no-brainer for me. I generally do make quite a few mistakes, and I haven't played with this sort of thing before, so better minimize that down. Once we get this restructure thing, I don't mind using some of this stuff to turn into plastic, because we need the plastic. I'm going to grab a couple of them and wherever the thing is, this thing here, 3 alien fuel cells. So I'm just going to manually craft this guy, because that will be easier. So again, thank you for watching. Please leave those comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.